Up next for the first time at Musical Intervention, we have Simon. Let's give Simon a very warm welcome.
There we go. That'll work. All right. Hi, I'm Simon. I do not have music. I do not have an instrument. I just have words. I write poetry. I've been a teacher in New Haven for 21 years. I taught at Hill House for 10. I worked downtown for 3, and I've been at Sound for 8. And I was invited to read here by Kevin. He told me about this on Monday, so I just found out about it. I'm trying it out. So let's see how it goes. I have 3 poems I'm going to read. The first one, I read it last night at a writing group that I'm in. I wrote this about 20 years ago, like right when I became a teacher, and it's about to pass. So, it's called Words Passed Between Lovers. I threw away those memories, held in a box for years, ancient artifacts, sentimental souvenirs, with meaning no more. But I got weak with words, old letters and notes, capturing arguments and agreements of lost years. I stopped short of the pages of history, the archived words that ceased existing, except in my mind and on those pages. No value is left in sentences of forgotten sentiment. The words, however true they may have been once, have reduced to lies. The phantom ribbons, shadows suggesting someone's who never existed. They go in a new box together, a collection of imaginary friends, to keep one another company for eternity, to console each other on sleepless nights when no one else is really there. Words pass between lovers. Thanks. All right, that one I wrote about 20 years ago. This next one I wrote about 20 days ago. So this one's called Mosaic. This is inspired by a Lana Del Rey song. It's also, a friend of mine wrote a poem by the same title. It's called Mosaic, and they're both about the same thing from our own perspectives. So, Mosaic. This mosaic I built with tiles I've collected, tiles who've collected me. We grow every day, not in the size of 2 dimensions, but in depth, going deeper, layers added to the past. More recent layers wrap the top, not merely covering layers below, adding additional dimensions, adding additional images, adding additional colors to the darkness of myself. These tiles are in motion, constantly vibrating, pulsing, with enthusiasm, endurance, not trying to escape, just sliding aside one another, constant motion. The challenges are gradual, adding up to who I am. In any chapter, at any moment, time moves on. So do we, unless stagnant. Mosaic. Thanks. All right. One more. This one I wrote on the 1st of March. And I know that because of the title. It's called The Eyes of March. So I wrote this on the 1st of March. Every Sunday I sit in a cafe in Milford. I live in Milford. I sit in a cafe in Milford and I type up my poems from that week and I revise them and stuff like that. So I was sitting in the cafe and this woman started talking to herself and I transcribed everything she said as the second part of this poem. This is 3 cantos, this poem. It's called The Eyes of March. And hopefully I can read this. All right, so part 1, these are my words that I wrote about it afterwards. The second part is her words and the third part is what I wrote the next day. So part 1. A faint powder coating turns wet on all surfaces exposed, surfaces in and of themselves, lying on the ground, cold and wet. When your reality is based on the existence of the surreal, when you lose touch, when you never were in touch, when you watch the touch slowly fade into obscurity, layers of the surface exposed into itself, as into another. Any other will do. A faint touch of reality, the faint touch of time. We balance ourselves out. We, with each other as we can. We balance. She does not. She cannot. We hold on as long as we can. I do at least. Still clinging, still gripping what I can, reality is still a game we play. The snow continues to fall, and she walks out the door. The sky too afraid to add water, fuel to the fire of her eyes. On the exit, she turns, locks eyes with me for the first time. I just saw the whites of your eyes. She never knew it could be so white. She was gone. So was the snow. Evaporation of reality. Then part 2. This is what she said out loud to herself while I was sitting there writing my poetry. Oh my gosh. Who I am, if I could express who I am. I have a husband, and I've been thinking about that. All I would have to do is pay a little in cash and just bring out that snow paradise. And that would be all we'd ever need to decorate the apartment is the value of the so easy. But I don't have the dwelling now to put it where it'd be safe and be shown, because I have to leave California, but everything I value in Connecticut from here that you people painted. Because what my mother did is take existing things, figure out how to attach to what my cousin Shelley had painted from the house, and the color, various ways. For her own family to Connecticut, she took the artwork of history, she put it in the company. She wouldn't let me live wherever, I don't know. I won't even know if the cousin's in town. That transcends time. So it's classic movies into a movie I saw a long time ago. And then the movie I saw lately is the same movie with Shirley MacLaine, Deborah Winger, and Bill Pullman. Whatever. I mean, some movie. Terms of endearment. So have a great day. I just saw the whites of your eyes. And the eye color, right? Sorry. I didn't know Iranian people could have blue eyes. And then the third part, this is what I wrote the next day. Hopefully this is making some sense to you. Part 3. It was only yesterday, the half-life of snow, dissolving, melting, seeping, returning to whence it comes. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. It is only yesterday, but it seems like a constant, moving with me simultaneously through space, through time. We cross each other, strictly in unison. I went to work this morning, and she rode her bicycle west. 11 degrees, bearable, barely. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets her hour upon stage, and then is heard no more. Somehow, our contact, even as inconsequential, seeped into me, straight through me. We are not one. But what if in that moment, signifying nothing, through her eyes, it was more than it was. Eyes of March. Thanks, guys.
Can we hear it one more time for Simon? Simon, next time you gotta bring your little poetry books, the little color ones.